Walking the streets and canals of Amsterdam was truly a dream becoming reality. It's a place that captured the imagination and fulfilled on the quaint idea of a walkable European city filled with history, arts, and culture, all leading up to the big New Year's Eve celebration.
Our first stop in Amsterdam had to be the Van Gogh Museum. We did buy tickets ahead of time, and it says that it's sold out, so I'm super excited to go to a dedicated museum of his work. We've seen it all over the world, but to see it concentrated and usually like progressive, it's going to be awesome.
The Van Gogh Museum had a lot of amazing storytelling of his life and the progression of his art. It was really interesting to see some of the other inspirations, the other artists that they had even present in the museum that he was inspired by, and then those that he inspired, which was nice just to see all in one collection, where a lot of times we've seen Van Gogh art kind of standalone in its own exhibit. The walkability of Amsterdam lends itself to wandering a block here or there and stumbling into a great little discovery. This time, it started with the Burger Room, a Wizard of Oz themed restaurant with some of the largest, juiciest, and tastiest burgers we had had in a long, long time, and continued to the flowers and cheese. Oh yes, the cheese.
We're wandering the streets of Amsterdam and we're coming across this cool market that's right along the canal, so I think we're going to do some window shopping. They're selling lots of tulips. There's actual bulbs for tulips and wooden tulips and seeds for tulips, all the tulips. Sweet and herby. It's delicious. That cheese was so good. I wish we had more than a carry-on, but we don't. That was a really interesting experience at the Anne Frank Museum. I know we know the history, but it was a good reminder about some of the things that had happened and the fact that they had immigrated from Germany and had a pretty normal life there prior to the Nazi invasion, and then they came here to Amsterdam, and his oldest daughter did get a letter that she was going to be sent to one of the camps, so that's when they moved into the back of the house. You know, the museum was walking through the house, walking through the shop, and then walking through the annex of the home, and it's just really a sobering thought to think of what happened to them and to think of what, you know, happens to people all around the world when we just describe them as other. Again, it's just a very sobering experience. So it is a smaller museum, so we booked the tickets ahead of time, and we actually did the program as well. So that's a different type of ticket, and you go in a room for about a half an hour before you walk through the museum, and they give you a history. There are different elements that they go through chronologically, and then when you are able to walk through the museum, you just like appreciate that extra context.
We were walking along the canal and literally smelled something fresh, or like something bakery item, something sweet, and this is what we found.
It's warm and fresh. Let's take a bite. Fresh waffle, and then there's a caramel layer in the middle and chocolate on top, and then these fresh raspberries.
They're walking around, taking some photos, having a little bit of a rest today. We are going out to dinner at an Italian place that we found, And then we have a nice little evening cruise, night cruise, I guess, because it's going to be dark. That Arrabbiata definitely filled us up, and we are now headed to our boat tour. This is a canal tour for a special light festival that's happening this time of year. And I'm not sure if it's a Christmas thing or a New Year's thing, but it is something a little bit special for this season that we're going to be going on. It starts at 7 o'clock. It's already been dark for a couple of hours. The canals of Amsterdam are iconic, picturesque, and full of history. Originally built in the 17th century as part of a city planning process to create distinct residential neighborhoods with immigration on the rise, floating through the city during day or night provides a special experience and vantage point of the city.
That was an awesome way to spend an hour just going through the canals slowly. They have all these cool lights that some are seasonal, some are permanent. But even so, you just get to look at all the buildings like on a slower pace and go through these tunnels. I loved it.
Well, good morning. It is our last day here in Amsterdam before we head home. And it is New Year's Eve, so some places are closed, but we have found a breakfast place called the Happy Big Pancake Shop. They do have these things that we think are called blins that are kind of like a crepe or a little bit of a thinner pancake. So we're going to try that out this morning to get our day started.
Something got whipped cream.
I did. That was delicious. We had a little trouble finding things that are open today, this morning on a Sunday. But it was super thin, the banana was fresh, and it wasn't a sugar bomb. And it looked big, but it was really like the right size.
To no one's surprise, the rain kept coming. At times, we retreated to the comfort of our hotel. At other times, we sought out a different comfort in our food.
What'd you get?
Soup. I got the split pea soup. I was reading that's one of the things that's classically Dutch. We had a sweet breakfast and we're gonna have a big dinner, so I just wanted a little bit of a snack. It's really earthy. It tastes really, really fresh. I got cilantro on top as well. But it tastes like pea, and then there's like some like yellow, I forget what it was called in there though.
Lentils?
No, but it does taste like lentils, but the peas are kind of lentils. It's good. It's really hearty. Well, honestly, I have no idea how to say this museum. Based on my research, this is the main art museum in Amsterdam. There are those smaller independent things of Van Gogh, Rembrandt, all of that. But this museum holds a lot of those works as well as other classics. So it's really large and there's a lot to cover. We're gonna just scratch the surface, but we'll spend our last afternoon here in Amsterdam in this beautiful museum. We have about an hour of fading light. There's a break in the rain, so we're gonna check out this park, which I'm sure is much more lovely in the summertime.
While we are not ones to stay out all night, we did want to get in on the New Year's Eve celebration. So we waited until the dark of night and joined the kids for their celebration in the park at 7 p.m. But don't kid yourself, the party was still cranked all the way up.